Welcome back to Saturday Night Live, folks.
I was gonna say you don't have to eat the mic, but you don't have to.
What's up, y'all? It's the Boo Crew. We're back with another video. I know this is a little bit different than what you're normally used to. We're not in a haunted location. We're actually just in Becky's backyard. But we are doing a different type of video today. So I decided, since it's spooky month, we would do just a chill video of us telling ghost stories. And this isn't your typical fabricated ghost stories. I'm talking real life experiences that any of us have had in our past, or even at the locations that we've been to and that you've seen. So we're just going to talk about that and try not to get too spooked out. Alright, so I guess I'm telling ghost stories first. I only have had experiences back at a job that I used to have, 2021, I think, 2022, somewhere around there. But I used to work at a hotel nearby, and like when I worked there, when I first started, like my first night of training, the girl that was training me was like, yeah, so like there are rumors that this place is on an Indian burial ground, but like I don't know if that's true or not, but I mean, I've heard some things. And I was like, okay, well, I believe in it, so we'll see what happens. And then like a week or two later, I started like having some things happen. So it started out kind of slow. First experience I had was that I could hear what sounded like a piano, like a grand piano playing in the ballroom, which you had to go through, like down a hall, through the restaurant attached to it, and all the way to the back where the grand ballroom was. So hearing a piano from that far away was like, whoa. But I know that there's no grand piano in there because I've been in that ballroom when I did a tour of the hotel, and there was no piano back there. There was no events going on, nothing. So, and I worked third shift, by the way, I forgot to mention that. So I'm up front at this hotel by myself up there, nobody else. So all the rooms are at the opposite end of the hotel from where the ballroom is. So another one, I don't know how much later it happened, but like I was also hearing other noises, like people walking around. Like I heard shuffles from the restaurant attached, as well as like right over by this little table we had that had like the community like coffee machine where people could get coffee. I heard like shuffles by there, but I never heard much of anything down towards where the rooms were. Like I didn't hear like anything from down that way. I was like, so it's all focused on this other side of the hotel. There was one time I was just sitting at the desk, minding my own business. I was just on my laptop, doing something, watching something, I think. It was like maybe midnight, 1 a.m. Like the night had kind of just started for me. And I feel like a few strands of my hair just kind of lift up very gently, and that's it. But you can feel that, you know? So I felt that, and I was like, hello? Like nobody around me. Back where the restaurant is, there is the area where you go to the kitchen. So being the like night desk person, like at this hotel specifically, I also had to like prepare breakfast in the morning. So I had to go back in that kitchen and get all the breakfast stuff out. There was one time I was minding my own business, going through the kitchen, and I just see a shadow dart from like my peripheral vision. There's nobody back there with me, so I was like, okay, no big deal. Like it's just running around. The experience that I usually tell to other people that I remember the most was, again, I was making breakfast for the morning. I was preparing it. Basically, I was starting out by pulling out all of the like little pre-packaged pastries that usually kind of sat in the fridge overnight or in the freezer to keep fresh. So I would pull them out to like defrost or like not be as cold. So I was putting them in their shelves when I hear from behind me towards the entrance where the restaurant is, like I hear from there just my name said. Literally, it sounds like my manager had come downstairs and said, Haley. And so I turn around and nobody there. So that was a pretty crazy one. And me being me, and me like believing in this stuff, and kind of just, you know, like I'm pretty casual so far with spirits, where I just kind of like, I am acknowledging your presence, I'm saying hi back, but I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. So I would love to go to this hotel and investigate one day, if they would even let us, because that back ballroom, that grand ballroom, is not fun. There is something that I could feel anytime I got near there. I felt a heaviness in my chest, and I was like, something does not want me back there. So I didn't usually go back there unless I was forced to, which is to shut off the lights and stuff. Don't mind the sirens in the background. We're in a city, it's fine. One day I'd like to go to that hotel and actually just investigate the restaurant and ballroom area. Not the entire hotel, because that I know of, none of the other guests have ever said they have heard anything or saw anything, so I think it's just the restaurant side of that hotel.
Okay, Miss Elena. So tell us a little bit about these paranormal experiences you've had.
Well, I've had a couple. One that really shook me, though, was me and Aaron, like, we have a Ouija board. We were playing with it, and one night we decided to take it off the wall and leave it down, and it was down for 3 days before something happened, and I was sleeping. I woke up and I couldn't move, and, like, I seen something in the, like, crease of my door just staring at me and slowly crawling at me. And when I finally was able to focus on it, it looked like it was literally from, I don't even know. It looked like a decomposing face and body coming at me and lunging at me. When it came at me, I finally, like, jolted up, and it just scared the living shit out of me. After my grandpa passed away, we were cleaning my grandma's house of my grandpa's stuff. My grandpa would always have, like, this distinctive cough. I come up from the basement putting some of his clothes away, and I come up to the kitchen, and all I hear is, like, him scooting, like how he would move his feet on the floor in his wheelchair, and then you could hear him, like, and I've also had experiences at home with my grandpa. Like, he'll talk to me. I can always hear him talking to me. That's mainly all my ghost stories. But I'm really sensitive to that stuff. Like, I can know when something's around, and I can just sense something if something's off.
Is my house haunted?
I don't know. I hear things in your house. I don't know.
Next stop on Boo Crew. We are checking out the haunted house of Becky. Thank you, Elena.
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome.
Those are really good. I remember the one about the Ouija board. You ended up putting it back up on the wall and nothing weird happened anymore.
Yep.
Then they gave me their other Ouija board. What?
Yeah, because we had two.
Yeah.
What you don't know is she gave you the bad one.
Yeah.
But the planchette doesn't have any glass in it, so I'm going to buy a planchette with glass in it and I won't play with it.
It doesn't have don't press it.
Oh, really? Because I've already played with it and nothing's happened.
Are you playing with it by yourself?
Yeah.
You're not supposed to do that.
She got demons, y'all. She got the demons.
I know. They're going to be waiting for you when we go back to Edinburgh.
Oh, God.
They're going to be waiting for you.
Oh, I'm going to be sick that day.
No, you won't.
Again, Edinburgh's not dark, but we should have sage.
We're not Catholic.
Hey, iconography works.
Yeah, that's why I've got a freaking rosary in my house. You don't have to believe in it as
helps.
long as they are demons, according to the Catholic Church. That will work. But I want that Milky Way.
No.
I want that. Give me that last bite of that Milky Way. You better, bitch, you better give me the last bite of that Milky Way.
Anyway, who's next?
I don't have ghost stories,
I have
really.
quite a few.
Yeah, you have a lot.
Yes.
You have whatever you've experienced at other places so far.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Yeah.
But you can still talk about them. Yeah, when we went here. Talk about that creepy picture you got at Waverly.
Oh, yeah, my creepy picture at Waverly.
Creepy picture of Waverly.
Yeah, the face
Showed
one.
you.
Ah.
Of the face in the window.
The face in the doorway.
It looks like this to like here. It's the red hallway.
Okay, yep. You zoomed in on where you saw it and screenshot it. Yep.
Spooky. Okay, well I guess it's Sean's turn to talk about his fun ghost stories, which he has, according to him, 1 million of them.
Not 1 million, but I have quite a few.
At least 7.
Let's see, where should I begin?
The beginning. It all started.
The day I was born.
The
I'm
day
kidding.
I was born.
But no, for real though, my mom did carry me in a haunted house while she was pregnant with me. was conceived on a Honda stretch of road, and to make matters worse, my dad's biological family was deeply into the occult. I guess the earliest one I can tell that I can verify was not like some weird animal, but 8th grade, I was allowed to walk to school because it was in our backyard. Was going to go down this path that would lead me to the field, lead me to a bridge, lead me to the school. As I'm getting ready to walk down this little trail that cuts through a little bit of woods into the field area, I see this giant possum, and I mean huge. Like, it was this big around. I'm just standing there watching it waddle across the path. Once I made sure it was on the other side, I'd walk down. But I get down there, there's no footprints. And it had rained. Like, heavily rained. I left footprints going down the embankment. I left footprints stepping where the thing was. There's no footprints on either side of it. So, spirit animal.
Your spirit animal is a possum.
You are the trash panda.
Trash?
No, trash.
No, that's a raccoon.
Yeah, trash pandas are raccoons.
Possums are just trash mammals.
Yeah.
They're not a mammal.
Yes,
They're a marsupial.
Mammals
Trash
are marsupials.
I told you to shut up.
That was
then,
funny. The car reacted to him.
let's see. I can't remember what year it was, but I think I was out of school. My aunt had found a friend that was into paranormal while she was still into the paranormal, and he took us to a bunch of graveyards one night. Then we go to this one cemetery that I cannot for the life of me remember which direction we took to get to it. By the time we got there, it was dark, like pitch black. We get out, I have my camera on me at the time, I'm getting ready to record as we're getting up to the gate, and no sooner I turn my camera on, we get ready to open the gate, I hear a little child giggle. And we did have a kid with us, so logically, I looked at him like, did you just giggle? He said no, and my aunt, who was holding him, said no, he didn't giggle. And you can hear it on the recording, you can hear it, I heard it audibly with my ears. So, when we got back to the guy's house, we played it on his TV, and everyone heard the giggle. Same cemetery, my brother gets pulled towards this one grave, and it's tall enough for him to lean up against it, if he wanted to. He takes it, and we're using an iPhone 4 to take pictures and stuff, just my aunt had. And wow, I go to take the picture. No sooner than I hit the picture to take it, it switches to X-ray, which if you have a Mac, there is a filter on the photo booth that's X-ray. It's not supposed to show any skeletal features or anything on you. But if you look at the picture that I took on that phone, you will see a skeleton overlay on my brother. Like you can see a skull, the neck, the rib cage, the arm bones. It was messed up. And I showed my aunt that it switched to X-ray, and she's like, "Sean, there's no X-ray on this phone." And she's going through her filters. I'm like, then it put a filter on there that doesn't exist on your phone just to take this picture. And the cemetery is also known for doppelganger activity. At the time, was specifically for the guy and his son that were showing us this place. And if we still had the pictures for that place, I would gladly show you guys, but I don't even know if they exist anywhere anymore.
Final story is one where my mom's friend at the time, her and him would go to different haunts, and they took us, me, Sean, cousin John, we all went to this haunted cemetery, which was extremely active. So while he was saying about all the stuff he's encountered people who would look like doppelgangers, who would take his form and some of his friends. While walking around, it was kind of said, oh, be careful not to get too far away, because maybe you might end up following one of them instead. Oops. On my end, because at one point I did turn at one point, got distracted by something, but then immediately looked back and it's like, oh, okay, there they are. And then I started following him because it wasn't too long, I thought. However, shortly afterwards, it was just a few, maybe a minute or two. My mom actually came up to me and said, hey, where were you? I had apparently been following a doppelganger not knowing it. So, it wasn't too far away from the actual group, so it wasn't too bad, but the fact that closer to the end of the trip, we were going from one place to another one of the high active places. And at one point, I swore someone was like behind me, so I looked back. No one was there. We did have like the normal spirit orb stuff afterwards. Sean had an instance where he took a picture of his brother, and when he looks at it, he swore there was like a skeleton kind of shape around him. However, one of the pictures that kind of stuck with me is while we were at the end of it, like at the end, when we were back home looking through all the photos, we were looking through it quite a few times. First one through, again, mostly the spirit orb stuff, mostly the other things, just the skeleton. Went through it second time, just re-looking through the pictures. Third time to fourth time we looked through them, 2 more pictures showed up. One I do not remember, mainly because I was too distracted by the other one, which is why I mentioned when I thought someone was behind me and no one was there. At that point in time, that's when the picture was taken. It was a picture taken from behind me and my mom as we were talking, and everyone else was in front of us. Everyone was present in that picture. Me and my mom were holding the phone. There was no way those photos got in there. There would have been some notification, some sign if it was sent through. Nothing. They just showed up there, and one of them, I swore no one was behind me. So I have no explanation for that. And when I'm thinking about the picture more and more, the lighting of it made it look somewhat like there was like a flash, but there was no indication of a flash at the moment. So the fact that the picture looks like there's a flash is also a little bit more adding on to the concerning thing. How did that picture come into existence? How did it just materialize like that? But yeah, that is definitely the number one story I have for my experiences of the most active one, because again, it's something that there was concrete evidence for it. There's no explanation for it that I can think.
Where is this place at?
All I remember is that something about Zion Cemetery. I don't know if it was a Mount Zion or just Zion. I asked my brother if he remembered. He claimed it was outside of East Peoria. I have no idea where it's at. Another cemetery we went to. Did not realize at the time, but they have these chairs in there. Like, they look like giant stone thrones. Did not realize they were actual tombstones. They were actually grave markers. But I sat in one of them because, it looks like a giant chair, and it's kind of fun to take pictures in giant chairs. In the picture at the time, my eyes looked like they were glowing green, and behind me, there was like a glowing green skull that was screaming. Like, mouth open and everything. Another place I worked at, the casino up in Iowa. I was on the floor cleaning crew. I was cleaning bingo one morning by myself, the bingo hall up there by myself. As I'm vacuuming, I see, kind of just out of the corner of my eye at first, what looks like a woman about 5'3", just standing there, but looks like she's got like a grayscale filter on. I was like looking around after I saw her, because I'm like, there's no way she could have just disappeared. It was an actual person. And I'm like, huh. Later that week, though, we're cleaning in a different part of the casino, the smoking section. We're deep cleaning the floors like you're supposed to every month. And I'm on one of the riding vacuums that we have there, and I'm looking around because I thought I just saw one of my coworkers walking across, going to try and find our supervisor. I just kind of questioned the guy that's working with me. I'm like, hey, where's the coworker at? And he goes, she's over there with the other one. I look across, there she is. But I could have sworn I just saw her walk this way, like towards the supervisor. And he's like, no, she's been over there for probably a good 30 minutes or so.
These are really, really weird. I mean, they must have been driving you crazy. You've had these your whole life.
Pretty much, yeah.
That's just nuts. All of this is crazy.
You got any, Becky?
I will start out with my imaginary friend as a kid. It was a ghost. It was one of those white bedsheet ghosts with the little holes for eyes. His name was Ghostly. He never talked to me. He only showed up when I said, hey, Ghostly, come here. So he didn't come to meet me or anything like that. I didn't really know how imaginary friends were supposed to work. My imaginary friend was a ghost, and he didn't really ever do anything for me, so I just made real friends.
Fair enough.
I wish I wasn't at work so I could be there and listen to your guys' ghost stories. They're really good.
Thanks. Sadly, I don't have any good ones that I can talk about because Haley hasn't put out the video for Edinburgh yet.
I'm working on it, alright? And by working on it, I mean, not yet, but I will.
Okay.
You want to tell or Ken's story?
Yeah, I didn't see him on the street, so we were driving on 74 East to Peoria to go to the Goodfield exit. Busy corner. But we're turning away from Goodfield. So you go down the off-ramp, take a left, go down to a stop sign, and we were almost to the stop sign, and Kent slams on the brakes. Kent is my husband. Slams on the brakes. And I'm like, whoa. And I'm like, what happened? He's like, did you see that? I said, see what? He goes, there was a girl in the middle of the road in line with the stop sign in a white dress. A little girl, like 8 or 9. And I'm like, no. You didn't see that? She was a crisp white dress. It was almost shiny. And I'm like, no. So he is dead set that he saw what he saw, and there's no bones about it. He's not really big into the paranormal and stuff like that, but he honestly believes that he saw that. I've never seen anything. I've never seen anything. I've never really heard anything. I don't have any stories. Sorry.
And that's what's going to make this next ghost hunting video that I have planned for posting, hopefully very soon after this one, will go up. Because this one actually got Becky a little freaked out, spooked, maybe not, but uneasy.
It scared crap out of me.
Yeah.
Scared the crap out of me.
It scared all of us, kind of, in a way.
And you missed it, Sean.
Yeah, Sean was going to come, and he couldn't come, but
Next
we'll go back.
time we're going, you're coming with.
Next time we go, you'll come with, for sure.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it, I have 4 really good ones, and then the other ones are just kind of, oh, they're there. When we first moved into the church house in Minear, that was remodeled into a regular house. They added a garage to it, and there was a lot of negative energy coming from that garage, because that was the addition that whatever spirit was there was not liking. So I kind of avoided going in there because of it. The garage itself wasn't that scary visually, but it's just the energy that you get when you step in there. It's like, I need out, I can't be in here any longer. This is no. It didn't help that that's also where we kept one of our dogs who was going through it mentally, which that could just be a genetic thing, so I'm not considering that a part of the ghost. However, the extremes that it went to, I don't know if it played a factor or not. But the most severe thing that dog has done was murder one of its grandchildren and dragged its body throughout the whole house, covering most of the floor with blood. However, for me, the only thing I personally experienced, because that was something my mom witnessed and had to clean up, was I would have severe nightmares, and I was going through a lot of stuff mentally as well at that place, where I was homesick the entire time I was there, basically. I personally found out that was stress, but the stress plus those nightmares, plus during one of those nightmares, I was stabbed in the dream, and when I woke up, there was a bruise where that stab was at the exact same shape and size of the item. And when I looked around for any cause of that, where I was sleeping, like, did I lay on something? There was nothing that could have caused it. Or the only thing that could have caused it was in a position where it was like, how the frick would I have ever got there? It's concerning, or it's concerning. However, after we moved out, the next person ended up having a more face-to-face encounter with the ghost, because the ghost was of the old priest who worked there, and he swore that one time he came home after going to the bar, but he saw the priest in the kitchen just staring at him. I wasn't there for that, But the fact that my mom also kind of swore that he was there just in her peripherals, and I was having the nightmares. I just remember the one where the house was burning down and the priest was kind of there. But based off of all the other nightmares that were going on, that just felt like the same old, same old. And that was my experience at the church house. That place made me feel very uncomfortable. Horror Stories 2 and 3. Both revolve around the crazy lady. For a good majority of my life, I have lived next to the quote-unquote crazy lady of our county, where she was known all throughout the county for just the bizarre stuff that she's done, yelling into public bathrooms. She stabbed the previous owner of the second house that I lived next to her, and there was just a ton of negative stuff around her, but I can't exactly feel hatred towards her. As I said, I lived next to her for a good majority of my life. I've seen her at her highs and lows, and I know kind of her pattern of, oh, she's just bipolar and has a bunch of stuff that she needs to be medicated for, but every time that she takes medication, she assumes that, oh, I'm better now, I'm cured. No, not cured. This is where my belief of tulpas kind of come in, because I do believe that because some people kind of view it as semi-demonic from some of the stuff that she said, that kind of negative stuff might have influenced an actual demon to appear. Again, we were living next to her, so we knew all the people who came in and out our house for a while, and she was the only person to enter or exit. One day when we were looking over at her house, we saw through the window her shadow, but then another shadow, which me and my mom were pretty sure looked like it had horns. We had no explanation for this because, again, we saw who came and go. There was no one else there except for her. So one weekend when we went to Dad's, kind of ran into a person from school, and we were talking about cryptids and other stuff that go around town. And eventually it came up to, oh yeah, there's recently a new one, like, around our hometown. And it's like, oh, that sounds awesome. What is it? And it's like, oh, it's a cat that's walking around with no feet. And then go to my mom's house again, next to Crazy Lady, and one of the very first things I hear when I get home is her saying, I killed your cat and I cut off its feet. It's buried in my backyard. I heard that she killed my cat from that. When looking it up, it does not exist, so I do not know what exactly would have caused that story to go around, but the thought of the ghost of my cat is now haunting my hometown. That's great. Yeah, no, there is a dead cat now with no feet. It's mine. I'm not okay. It's fine.
When Becky brought up her husband's story, actually, my first car was, or I had a weird feeling in it, definitely. And it didn't start until I started driving it by myself, especially on back roads, like country roads. I would always get this feeling like just in the back passenger seat, there'd be this person sitting back there. Couldn't see them in the mirror, but you could always feel them back there. And I used to joke around saying it was a mob car because it was a 70s Cutlass Supreme. And it just was like what like what do you expect to see in a 70s mob movie. I was driving on a backstretch of road between Mackinac and Minear. There's a creek and there's a cemetery by the creek. I was coming up on the creek and all of a sudden my car drifts towards the creek. Like my hands are both on the steering wheel.
It just turns?
The wheel is like, I'm not saying I lost control of the car or anything. It's like the wheel just suddenly jerked like this towards the creek. And tried taking me into the creek. I hit the brakes, said, nope, not today, because I was on my way to a wedding. I wasn't supposed to die during that.
Oh my god.
And I'm like, yeah, okay, there's definitely something up with this car. One of my next ones are going to be at a place I used to work at. It was one of my first weeks there. I had a senior officer showing me around because I used to work security at this place. He was showing me around. We get up to the 4th floor of a couple buildings, and before I even step foot into this one building that we're walking into, I get the feeling I'm not supposed to be up there. But go with him, go through there, and I have a building rove. Later that night, I go up there by myself. I step foot in there again after, getting that feeling again. And all of a sudden, I'm like, yeah, I need to leave. I go to leave, though, and no markers are where they're supposed to be. It's just blank, and all of a sudden, outside and kind of behind me, I just get this looming feeling like, get out of here now or something bad's going to happen. And so I run back to where I was, because that's where it's like maybe they'll reset everything. As soon as I turn back around, see the 4th floor marker for the other building that I was in, and I turn back behind me and I see the marker for the building that I just walked back into. I'm like, I'm leaving.
Oh my god. You lost space and time.
Mm-hmm. I went back downstairs and went back to the office, and no one questioned anything.
That is perfect for M theory. Perfect. That's messed up. They've been getting progressively scarier. We've talked about it before, that things that people call paranormal could be as simple as M theory, membrane theory, which is also part of quantum mechanics. So I want to talk about 2 of the stories that Sean gave us. The first one is about how he was sitting in one of the areas, I think it was the 2nd or 3rd floor, and he saw a bunch of really tall people staring down at him. And I asked him to kind of clarify, what did they look like? What were the decorations, and what did the scene look like, and what did the people look like? And he said they were more like shadow figures. They were very dark, and he couldn't see any specific facial features or clothing or anything like that. They could have been wearing, for instance, like capes and hoods that were dark, and he couldn't see, and things like that, because it was dark anyway where he was. And then they asked, who he is and what he is and things like that. So it could be that they didn't recognize him because maybe the clothes he was wearing, or that he wasn't someone who was there with them. I think it is probably, when we look at the children next, a dimension that the membranes crossed, and the dimension is something where the Celts are still reigning, or in the past where the Celts were around. Now, the reason I say that is because the next story he talked about was he was wearing a Celtic necklace, and it seemed like there were children on his shoulder pulling him down and trying to get his necklace. Once he took it off and set it on a chair, it felt like they got off, and he said that he thought that they were looking at it on the chair. Yes, children are typically interested in jewelry and things like that. But again, this could also be a Celtic time where they saw a Celtic necklace and were very interested in the fact that this person that they didn't know had something like that on. And again, this might be that this membrane that collided with ours in that area was Celtic. And the collision was so big that I believe he's a catalyst for collision of membranes, because it was so big and so long, it followed him until he exited. Now, he sees this as paranormal, but when you take a scientific look at it, it could definitely be on a quantum level, membranes between our reality and another reality hitting each other, because they do vibrate, and he could have seen things in another dimension. But he would, of course, would have to be sensitive to that, and a catalyst for collisions. And again, I think that's what ghost inspectors and poltergeists are. Things that come through from another dimension. We are surrounded by different membranes all around us. I mean, space-time, you can't really say that things are in a straight line. I do believe that these 2 stories are connected. Yeah, that is what I'm thinking happened. There was a mesh of a couple of membranes, ours and another one, and he saw it. So I'm very interested to see what he sees in the future. When it comes to M theory, these 2 stories connect together, and I think prove my M theory.
So far, I think our craziest places have been Indiana State. Ashmore was interesting. It was quiet for most of the night, but we did get some interesting things towards the end. And then the next one coming up, Edinburgh Manor, was very, very interesting. And we're very excited for you guys to see that one. So,
do we give them a sneak peek about it? Do we give them maybe one story that we all agree upon?
That you 3 can
Yeah.
Give a sneak peek.
Just one little sneak peek about what we had?
No.
Aww.
We
like we're being gypped.
What was that? I heard something through my mic.
No, holy.
We're done. We're done. Got 911 ready?
Of course, Becky, you had to see something spooky. We were just getting hyped up to go back inside.
Yeah, we were.
I think I just said Haley.
Have fun.
But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this ghost story video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I know it was a little more chill and a little different than usual, but hopefully you still enjoyed hearing our stories, our experiences, and kind of getting to know us a little bit more based on that. If you liked the video, give it a like. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell to get notified when we upload. Stick around, enjoy all of the spooky ghost stuff and other things that we might have planned for you eventually.
And if you guys have any recommendations of places we should go, let us know in the comments.
And if you have a ghost experience that you'd like to share, feel free to also write that in the comments, because I love reading people's stories and experiences.
Or join us in Discord. We have a whole channel dedicated to ghost stories there. So come and join us. Let us know what you have.
Yeah, we do have a Discord server. The link is in the description below. I believe that is all we have for you. So we'll see you in the next video. Till then, stay spooky.
We're such dorks.